Babes Reading Books Book Club.
I think we nailed that one.
Oh. What's up, book nerds? The babes are back in town for our Babes Reading Books Book Club. I'm Roxanne.
I'm Vic. I'm Nadia.
And together with you, we're the babes at
Woo!
reading books. What was that noise?
You're about to boo us?
I'm booing the book.
Oh yeah.
Foreshadowing.
Before we get into that, don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Two Girls Being Bros. Also our TikTok and our Twitter. And then Instagram, Two Girls Being Bros _. Stay updated on everything that we post. Leave comments down below. Leave us thumbs up. Let us know what you liked about this book, what you didn't like, if there is something to like about this book. Leave a comment down below. But yeah, let's get right into it.
Also, before we get into it,
Okay.
make sure to check out the Plunge podcast tomorrow, Friday, December 9th to Friday, December 10th. They're doing a charity live stream from, what time does it start? Is it 6?
6 p.m.
6 p.m. EST, and we're going to be on there for about an hour or so come check it out. It's for charity. Make sure to donate. Go check them out. I'll leave a link in the description.
You better do it. It'll be a big fun time.
Heck yeah.
But yeah, unfortunately, now we move on to more worse things about our lives. So unfortunately, this month's book was the book As I Lay Dying by William Faulkner. So as the employee at Indigo told me, this is one of her favorite books and one of the best classics. Let me read you the description. In Faulkner's self-described tour de force, a family grants a dying woman her last wish. Addie Bundren will be buried in her hometown. As a storm rages and a simple journey becomes a grueling endeavor, the family reveal their true opinions toward their matriarch. Told from the viewpoints of every family member, Faulkner's epic odyssey exposes their private thoughts, their wants and fears, and the jealousies and rivalries that lurk beneath the surface. As they endure a series of hardships in their efforts to bring a relative to their final resting place, the realities of Depression-era Mississippi are laid bare for all to see. Harrowing yet compelling, this book takes the reader on an unforgettable emotional journey. Today it is recognized as one of the most brilliant novels of the 20th century. Let me tell you, when I tell you that this line, harrowing yet compelling, this book takes the reader on an unforgettable emotional journey, that, my ladies and gentlemen, is the most true sentence that has ever rang true with me on the back of a book. When I tell you the emotional roller coaster I went due to this book, not while reading the book, but because I had to read the book, was in fact unforgettable and emotional. I'm going to start off this time. I know sometimes I like to end things off on a dramatic note, but unfortunately, I have been dying. I have been chomping at the bit.
As you lay dying.
Literally, as I lay dying. I have been chomping at the bit to rip this book to shreds, okay? Genuinely, if anyone wants this book, I will mail it to you free of charge. I will pay the shipping and handling fees to get this book out of my possession. Because when I tell you this book gets a 0.01 out of 5, I mean it. The 0.01 is only because it's still a book and it kind of counts for something. So there's that. First of all, I get it. This is a classic, and so I knew it was written back in the day. But I couldn't stop thinking that William Shatner wrote this book. And it really threw me. And I think that's just right off the press. I shouldn't have picked this book. But listen, I said I was going to do this book. I started reading it, and I talked to the girls about how maybe I should have picked it. And I said, you know what? No. I've already done a book that I've read, a book that I've never read and didn't enjoy, a book that I've never read and did enjoy. And it's time to do a book I've never read. And let me tell you, did I not enjoy this book? I maybe understood 2 words. I genuinely at one point thought one of them was a girl. Turns out they were a guy the whole book. I didn't know if they were sons, daughters of the woman who was dead or of someone else, because they kept saying my mom was a fish. I don't know where Listen, I read SparkNotes after they explained it. I still don't get why they had to use that wording. My mom is a fish. It was wild. We were jumping through chapters. There was a chapter that was a sentence long. There's a chapter that was like 15 pages long. I don't know. The woman was dead. I was reading her thoughts. I don't know how that works, but she was alive when she was writing it. So I was confused with that. The man was looking for teeth. What's his face? Ansy? I don't know how to say his name. Beats me. He was looking for teeth the whole time. He ended up with a fresh set of teeth in the end. Like, congrats to you. But what does that have to do with Addie's dying? There was like an allusion to a doctor kidnapping a young girl in the end. I don't know what was going on. If someone paid me money and asked me what this book was about, I would read the back off of it, and that's it. If they asked me any further questions, I simply couldn't. Like, I think around page 115 is when I started actually understanding what was going on. There was a whole river scene. We were there for a couple days. I don't know what was happening. I read this book pretty much. I read it in 1 and then 2 single quarter sets where I read 20 pages in one sitting. The next sitting was 15 pages, and then I read the entire book in the rest because I forgot about this book because that's how badly I did not want to read it. Let me tell you, I just didn't understand a lick of it. The ending was strange. They just randomly started bringing people in. There was a guy with a concrete leg, right? There's some racism in there, some just awful things. It's just I couldn't. And that's my wrap of that. I would read Ugly Love 100 times over than this one because this one I didn't understand a lick of it, and I was like, what am I doing here?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Funny you bring that up.
Yeah.
You know, it pains me to say this because I really didn't think that I would find a book in my life that I hate more than Ugly Love. I really thought Ugly Love was the bottom of the barrel. Don't get me wrong, I still hate it. It's still an awful book. But I found something worse. As I lay dying. Holy smokes. I am giving this, I don't know, I guess a 0.25. Let's be generous.
That's generous.
You know,
Jeez.
You won't give it a 0.01. I'll give it a 0.25. I did love the chapter, My Mom is a Fish. That really, really resonated with me. Now, see, I've read classics before. I've done Pride and Prejudice. I've done Emma. I've done all of these. I read classics before, okay? And they're boring and a snooze fest and hard to understand. But, like, you still can get the gist of the story of what's going on. You know what I mean? Maybe the language kind of is hard. But I still, when I was reading those classics, I still could get the general picture of what was going on. This couldn't tell you. Could not tell you what was going on. I read this whole book. I read it in 2 days. I didn't understand what was going on at all. I only understood it kind of when I read the SparkNotes after. It's the only book, I think, that I've had to read the SparkNotes after because I tried, genuinely couldn't tell what was going on this whole book. Let me read some of my notes.
Yeah. There's a picture of a coffin?
Yeah.
In one of the corners?
Yeah, it was really weird. Same thing like you. I thought this woman was dead, but then half the chapter she's speaking to us and alive, and I was like, are we going back in time?
Dying.
Oh, I thought she was dead. Half the people I thought were like, I thought one girl was the cook, and the next thing I think she's a daughter and she's pregnant and wants a miscarriage, and wants an abortion.
Wants a miscarriage.
But she can't get an abortion because her father stole the money to get new teeth, which seemed to be the whole point of the book, and I was like, what?
Yeah, keep going. That was just a wild sentence, but it's so true. This man was but she got the abortion, so the money should have already been in the doctor's hands. But he's like, thanks for the fresh set, babe.
The fresh set of teeth. Like, this whole book is supposed to be about this woman dying and then putting her to rest, but it's really about this man just trying to get teeth. Like, his freaking son needs to get a concrete leg because they fell in a river, and I don't even know what happened in the river, but
we were there for so long.
He got, like, a broken leg, and they cut it off. And instead of going to the hospital, he was like, no, let's continue because we need to bury her. But he just wanted his teeth. So this whole book was really about him getting a set of teeth, which I was very confused about. Anyways, so some of my notes are...
I didn't even know that they had teeth like that back in the day. I'm not gonna lie.
It's really good. Bad, impossible to understand, no idea what's going on, took forever to understand the relationships between people and like who's related to who. Are they the same person? Are they different? Best part of it was when it was done. worst book I've ever read. So many unanswered questions. And that kind of sums it up for me.
Can I just remind us? I forgot to read them. So mine is, first chapter was very weird. Didn't understand a single thing it was describing. Next. It was very mean of the woman to not take the cakes after she had them commissioned. Next was, had to look up what an ADZE was. A-D-Z-E. Still don't know how to say that. And then the next one was, I don't know if I can finish this book. And then the last note was, why did they bury her in her wedding dress?
I missed that.
Oh my god.
I feel like there's probably a million things I missed. But I don't care to know what I missed.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's not something I'd go back. But yeah, just my favorite is Vardaman. My mother is a fish.
Yeah.
That was the... like...
Cool.
Like-
Sounds good. Oh, hey! So, just kidding. Okay, I did not read this book, but...
I don't blame you.
I read a few pages and I got the gist. Just kidding. But I feel like even if I read it, from the sounds of it, I still wouldn't know what was going on. So really... Am I in it any different of a position than if I did read it? No, now I'm filled in on the teeth, I'm filled in on the fish. Now I know the gist of the book. I do know the general story. I did read the Spark Notes as well and watch some reviews, but no review from me today.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, today's episode is gonna be very different, very short, very brief, because again, I didn't understand a fucking word of it. But what I decided to do, instead of going through the characters and the plot, unfortunately, I can't do that because I don't know them. Beyond the woman that was dead, but then she was giving us the chapter. And then other than the teeth at the end.
Yeah.
I figured we'd all go through Spark Notes together and try to decipher what's really going on and if we agree with what they're saying or if it's a stretch. Okay? So first of all, also just the fact this book has 59 chapters, but it's 200 pages. Thank goodness.
Yeah.
I swear, if this book was one more, if there was one more page, I think I would have lost it. Oh my gosh. Okay, let's start. Okay, section, summary and analysis. What? Okay, let's start with the characters. I still don't understand people. They were pulling people out. We were all of a sudden in the point of view of a doctor who was, for some reason, there for 2 minutes, trying to give the girl an abortion, but then he was like not giving her money. I don't know what was going on. Okay, so number 1, Andy Bundren. So that's the woman who's dead. Oh my gosh, there's no way. Okay, so she's the wife of Ans. I'm gonna call him Ans.
Teeth Man.
Teeth Man.
Yeah.
Tooth Daddy. And mother to Cash,
Yeah.
Darrell, Jewel, Dewey Dell, and Vardaman. So first of all, if I'm naming my daughter Dewey Dell, no wonder I'm dying. Bro, like, so she's the most absent protagonist. Yeah, because she's dead. She's a former school teacher. When did we figure that out? I don't remember learning that. I think someone just made that up. Whose bitter, loveless life causes her to despise her husband, to invest all of her love in her favorite child, Jewel, rather than in the rest of her family. Or God. What? Okay. Any complaints?
No.
No? Okay. The head, so Ant's the head of the Bundren family. More like the teeth.
Didn't he have like a mistress too at the end there?
That's what I was saying. Hold on. So Ant is a poor farmer afflicted with a hunchback.
Oh.
When did that become? Okay. Whose instincts are overwhelmingly selfish. Facts. Okay, I got that gist. His poor child-rearing skills seem to be largely responsible for his children's various predicaments. Okay.
Yo, yeah, didn't
Men.
he like
He's a
not
man.
want kids, but like...
I thought those were. She didn't want kids and he wanted them.
Oh yeah, right. I remember.
It was just he
something
wanted them,
didn't
but he
want
wasn't
kids.
like doing anything. And then alternately hated and disrespected by his children. He's a man. Ans nonetheless succeeds in achieving his two greatest goals in life in one fell swoop: burying his dead wife in her hometown in Jefferson and acquiring a new set of false teeth.
How? Sorry.
No, I have nothing to say. Just laughing at the
How is this the most brilliant novels when it's about a man trying to get a set of veneers?
It's just a show that is. Do you know why? Do you know why? And do you know why I gave this a 0.01, even though I understood more of it than I want to let on? It's because this whole book is about how a man will make his family go through hell and back, and they will 10 out of 10 times when all he wants is vanity and things for his own good. And that's all that this book is. And it pisses me off that I got that. That's the worst part. But that's what it's trying to say. It's because he made her have kids. He approached her about getting married and she was like, okay, fine. He makes them take her body all the way back to the town. He makes the kid pour his leg with concrete instead of being like, no, you should go to a doctor. And then he, in the end, takes his daughter's money to get himself new teeth. So it's all about his own selfish gain and how he doesn't care about his family. But yet, it's a metaphor for all men and how they push these things onto people when they themselves only want it for themselves. So, yeah, William Faulkner, I got it. Loud and clear.
Yeah,
but I knew
William.
that. Yeah, William Shatner.
I did not get that, but
Yeah,
it makes
so
sense.
That is what it is. Because in the end, all he wanted was his own false teeth. His own real teeth. False teeth. But yeah, because I just knew he had bad chompers. But okay, next. So after that guy comes Darrell. He's the second born. He's sensitive, okay. I don't know. But I think he goes crazy. Yeah, Darrell's frustration with the whole process leads him to try to end things decisively by incinerating his dead mother's coffin. Oh, okay, so he didn't go crazy. I thought he went crazy.
He's the one who set on fire. I didn't know that.
Okay, I knew that. And he goes to jail in the end, yeah. Next, Jewel. Ooh! Oh, I didn't know this. I had a feeling. I knew that she cheated on him. So Jewel, the bastard child of Addie and Whitfield, the minister. Double whammy. Shocking.
Minister.
Though Darrell seems to understand him, Jewel remains the novel's greatest mystery and is the least represented in its many sections. Okay.
Didn't he just love his horse?
His passionate, brooding nature reveals a real love to dedication to his mother and becomes a fierce protector of her coffin. Yeah, so then Cash, he's the eldest. He's a skilled carpenter. Cool. Almost to the point of absurdity. Cash is I don't know what this means. Oh, so it's like, okay, so he's the paragon of patience and selflessness, almost to a point of absurdity. So that's why when his leg is broken, he's like, oh, it's not a big deal, like, let's keep going, like, blah, blah, blah. So it's like, that's his downfall. Okay. Like, cool. Dewey Dell. Took me forever to realize I was a woman. And then also, I thought it was like Dewey, first name, last name Dell. So I didn't think they were related. So I fully thought that this was just like some cousin or something. The only Bundren daughter, Dewey Dell, is 17 and a recent sexual experience has left her pregnant. Increasingly desperate, she finds her mind occupied exclusively with her pregnancy and views all men with varying degrees of suspicion. Yeah, so it's like her thing is that like, oh, she got pregnant so she didn't have time to focus on her mother and her dying moments. And it's like, that's what each one of again, William, loud and clear. It's to show that everyone had their own things instead of spending time with the mother before she died. And it's like the selfless one, he was building the coffin instead of spending, like, he was building it while she was alive to be nice, but it's like, instead of spending time with her, and then it's like the girls focused on that instead of spending time with the mom, and then like all this stuff, and I was like, bah!
Sounds like you really got a good grip on this book.
Yeah, honestly.
It was only from the Spark Notes, because they say the facts, they translated it for me, and then I just...
I also read this part. Learning new things.
Okay, Vardaman.
Oh, this guy.
The youngest. Lively imagination. Views his mother does through the same lens which he views a fish that he's recently caught and cleaned. That's why he says, my mother is a fish. Weirdo. Although his ramblings at the beginning of the novel border on manacle, Vardaman proves to be a thoughtful and innocent child. Oh, so he's a child.
Okay,
that makes sense.
I was gonna bring that up here. Is how old do you think Mr. Vardaman is? Because I was like, this guy must be 6 years old. Yeah. I was reading this thing and I'm like, this guy's delusional. There's no thought in his brain. He thinks a human is a fish. He was saying his brother's a horse. I don't know. It was getting weird. And I was like, okay, this either has to be a young child, like POV of a 5-year-old, or I don't know what's going on.
Unfortunately, I did also somehow catch that he was a child while reading the book. Again, William Faulkner, gotcha loud and clear. It was against my will that I understood this much of the book. Let me tell you. Oh my gosh. Okay, next, Vernon. The wealthier neighbor. Oh, he hired the sons, Darrell, Jewel, and Cash for odd jobs, and then they just don't. Oh, so they beef. So they have beef, but they still hired the sons. Okay, close enough. Oh yeah. So Cora is Vernon's wife. I don't know. None of this really holds up or is important enough. Yo, at one point they were like taking the body through the town, and the people were saying how bad it smelled. That like they were like lock him up, and I was like, bro, like how are they alive? That was insane. Like, man, I'm not gonna lie. Someone did that to my body, I'd be pissed. Someone carried around rotting. Yo, the son, Vardaman, whatever. He tried to give his mom breathing holes in the coffin because he didn't understand she was dead, and he accidentally made 2 holes in her face.
Oh my god.
And I was like, why did we need to include that, William? Why? Yeah, the kid, because it's to show that like, oh, you know, he's still naive and he was doing the best, but he still harmed her. Again,
that seems unnecessary.
I know. Yeah, none of this is useful. Okay.
Okay.
No. So I got it. Okay, so the doctor at the end. So Dewey Dell goes to a doctor and she's like, "Give me an abortion," and he's like, "Okay, take this," and then he's like, "Come after, like take this or whatever, like blah blah, and then come after again, and I'll give you more." So this guy McGowan. A rather despicable young employee at a Jefferson drugstore, McGowan extorts a sexual favor from Dewey Dell in return for fake abortion treatment. I knew it was fake because just the way he was acting.
Wait,
Yeah, so it's toxic. Yeah, so he was just giving her talcum powder, so that's just like baby powder. So it's not gonna make an abortion. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I think I remember that. He was a bit of a sham, but I didn't understand why.
Yeah, why would he give a fake abortion?
Because she was beautiful, so he would be like, if I do this for you, you have to do something for me. Disgusting.
Gross.
Despicable behavior. Okay, so that was pretty much all the characters.
Who's your fave? Fave character?
Addie.
Vardaman.
Oh, is it Vardaman?
The 6-year-old. That's my favorite because at least he's just naive. Not evil.
I liked Cora because she had one chapter dedicated to her where she talked about her cakes.
Fun fact, so Cora was actually not a very nice person to Addie. So I'll have you know that you picked probably the worst one.
I didn't even
My
notice.
favorite one would probably have to be Anne's. The hustle to get fake teeth, man. You put your family through hell for a fresh set. Gotta respect him.
It is kind of iconic.
Gotta respect the hustle. To pull up and at the end be like, this is the new Mrs. Bunsen. Like, you came there to bury your dead wife, and you come with a fresh set after stealing money from your daughter, and then on top of that, you pull a new woman? Man, you gotta appreciate this game.
He's got fresh teeth. How could the ladies stay away?
I love how, like, you literally make his family cross a river in a raging storm and lift the coffin with the dead, smelly body.
Yep.
And his son won't lose a leg, all for a fresh set of teeth. It is inspiring. The lengths you can go for something you want.
Exactly. If you're a man, you can do whatever you want. Okay. Holy smokes. Okay, we're going with a full book summary. There's simply far too much. Okay, Addie Bundren, the wife of Anne's Bundren, is a matriarch of a poor southern family. She's ill. She's about to die. Cash, he's taking time out of his life, putting his carpentry skills up to the use. So he's preparing it. And he's building it right in front of the bedroom window. That's kind of harsh. I'm not going to lie.
So she can watch.
That's what I'm saying. Like, man, if someone were to build... First of all, would you guys want someone to build you a coffin?
No.
Oh.
I don't want to see my coffin. Oh.
No. Just like, let's say you die.
Yeah.
God forbid. So it's not the only thing guaranteed in life. But, God forbid, you die. And then, in the funeral arrangement, someone's like, I'm going to make you a coffin.
Sure. Whatever.
Yeah.
At that point, it's like, I don't care. I don't know. Yeah, build me a coffin, buy me a coffin.
Yeah.
I would be sick, actually.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, it could be kind of fun. Like, you make it out of old skateboards or something.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'd give
really sick coffin.
artistic freedom for someone who wanted to make it for me. Why not? But if they were to make it in front of my window, hell no.
Yeah, while I'm alive? Like, wait till I die.
Literally. Like, come on.
Bad manifesting.
Yeah.
She's literally sick. She's like, on her deathbed pictures, like, cash manifested your death.
Well, if you put that energy out, you're only going to speed up the process.
Exactly. You're right. Okay. So, although Addie's health is falling rapidly, two of her other sons, Darrell and Jewel, leave town to make a delivery for the Bundren's neighbor. Oh, excuse me. Oh my gosh. Jewel. I love how we just brushed over the fact that he's a bastard son. She cheated with a pastor. That's awful. That's a double whammy. Oh, did it make a delivery for the Bundren's neighbor, Vernon Tull, whose wife and two daughters have been tending to Addie. Yeah, like, why are your neighbors looking after you? My neighbors, the only reason my neighbors are at my deathbed is because they put me there. They're not tending to me. They're making sure I'm going. So pretty much as soon as Darrell and Jewel leave, Addie croaks. She's kicking the bucket. She's out of there. So the youngest child, Vardaman, associates his mother's death with that of a fish he caught and cleaned up early that day. Why?
It doesn't make any sense.
Did he kill the fish?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did he kill his mother?
Maybe. We don't know.
Just saying.
That's what I'm talking about. Could you imagine?
Maybe Sparkle doesn't even know. I'm sure this guy was dead before Sparkle was alive. So how do
Definitely.
we know? How do we know that the Sparkle is accurate and they didn't miss something?
It's true. He couldn't confirm.
Exactly.
So with some help, Cash completes the coffin just before dawn. Oh, thank goodness! Like, you did it in front of her. It's too late. She knows. With some help, Cash completes the coffin just before dawn. Vardaman is troubled by the fact that his mother's nailed shut inside a box, and while others sleep, he bores holes in the lid, two of which go through his mother's face. Addie and Anne's daughter, Dewey Dell, whose recent sexual liaison with a local farmhand named Leif have left her pregnant, is so overwhelmed by anxiety over her condition that she barely mourns her mother's death. A funeral service is held on the following day, where the women sing songs inside the Bundren house while the men stand outside on the porch talking to each other. What a weird... If I'm dead and you're singing songs, disrespectful, now you're going to stand around and talk with one another? No. I'm requiring sobs only. Only deep heaving sobs. That's the only thing you get out of your body. Darrell, who narrates much of this first section, returns with Jewel a few days later, and the presence of buzzards over their house lets them know their mother's dead. Anybody know what a buzzard is?
No.
It's something like fly thing, right?
Oh, I thought it was a bird.
I don't know.
My money's on what's it called? It's like not a falcon. Vulture, like a vulture, I think. Buzzard. We're googling it right now. Common buzzard. A common buzzard is a medium to large bird of prey which has large range. Okay.
Can we see it?
Yeah. Is a buzzard the same? Oh no. Buzzards are smaller and uglier looking, or less uglier looking.
Oh,
So they're
Cute.
kinda
that's
Right?
yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind some of those. Around someone else, of course, not me. On seeing the sign, Darrell sardonically reassures Jewel, who is widely perceived as ungrateful and uncaring, that he can be sure his beloved horse is not dead. Oh, so this guy's... Jewel is obsessed with his horse. You're right, you got it, okay. There was one person who was... I remember that, yeah. He can be sure his beloved horse is not dead. Addie has made Anne's promise that she will be buried in the town of Jefferson, and though this request is a far more complicated proposition than burying her at home, Anne's sense of obligation, combined with his desire to buy a set of false teeth, compels him to fulfill Addie's dying wish. Like,
it's just an interesting way to go about it. Like, there's a million ways you could have wrote this book just to prove the point that, like, men or whatever.
Vanity.
About vanity. And, like, self-centered. But to go about it being the whole plot that he's going to get a new set of teeth, it's just such an interesting choice. I don't know.
Right? And again, I don't fully believe they had sets of teeth back then.
Yeah.
We were just selling.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. Okay, yo, next, they're like, Cash has broken his leg on a job site. Who? I didn't know that. I thought he broke it in the river.
That's what I thought too.
So, I don't understand that. So, he helps the family lift the unbalanced coffin. But it is Jewel who ends up manhandling it almost single-handedly into the wagon. Okay? Why? I love that this is what they include in the summary. Jewel refuses, however, to actually come in the wagon and follows the rest of his family riding on his horse, which he bought when he was young by secretly working nights on a neighbor's land. Ooh, some tea there. On the first night of their journey, the Bundrins stay at the home of a generous local family, who regards the Bundrins' mission with skepticism. Due to severe flooding, the main bridges leading over the local river have been flooded or washed away, and the Bundrins are forced to turn around and attempt a river crossing over a makeshift ford. Fools. Literal fools. When a stray log upsets the wagon, the coffin is knocked out. Cash's broken leg is re-injured. Okay. And the team of mules drowns. Rip. That's rough.
Mules.
Yeah. Rip the mules, man. Vernon Toll seeks a wreck and helps Joel rescue the coffin and the wagon from the river. Together, the family members and Toll search the riverbed for Cash's tools.
Yes, man was crying about his tools.
Literally. Like,
I was like, fair, he broke his leg and he's gonna need a cement leg. The least he can get is his tools. But, like, get over it. You know?
yeah.
Pressing matters then, man. Man needs some teeth. And your dead mother needs to be buried. Most important.
The teeth. Cora tells wife remembers Addie's unchristian inclination to respect her son Jewel more than God.
What?
Addie herself speaking either from her coffin or in a leap back in time to her deathbed. I love the idea of either one. If she's dead with a couple holes in her face, I think it's a leap back in time. Like, come on. Recalls events from her life, her loveless marriage to Anne's, her affair with the local minister, Whitfield, which led to Jewel's conception, and the birth of her various children. Whitfield recalls traveling to the Bunge's house to confess the affair to Anne's and his eventual decision not to say anything after all. Oh! So it's an accidental. Ooh, so Anne's does not know Jewel, it ain't his. Ooh, okay. A horse doctor sets Cash's broken leg while Cash faints from the pain without ever complaining. Anne is able to purchase a new team of mules by mortgaging his farm equipment using money that he was saving for his false teeth and money that Cash was saving for a new gramophone and trading in Jewel's horse. Ooh, that's a tough blow. He really gave up his son's most prized possession. Well, technically not his son. Which he doesn't know. The family continues on its way. In the town of Motson, residents react with horror to the stench coming from the Bunge Maya. See? That's all I got. While the family is in town, Dewey Dell tries to buy a drug that will abort her unwanted pregnancy, but the pharmacist refuses to sell it to her and advises marriage instead. I love that the solution for abortion is marriage.
Yeah.
Have you tried marriage?
Have you? Why are more people trying marriage?
That's what I'm saying. With cement the family has purchased in town, Darrell creates a makeshift cast for Cash's broken leg, which fits poorly and only increases Cash's pain. What? You're telling me cement casts don't work? That's crazy sauce.
That's news. News to me.
The Bundrins then spend the night in a local farm owned by a man named Gillespie.
Oh, Giuseppe.
Gillespie. I'm kidding. Darrell, who has been skeptical of their mission for some time, burns down the Gillespie barn with the intention of incinerating the coffin and Addie's rotting corpse. Fair enough. Jewel rescues the animals in the barn, then risks his life to drag out Addie's coffin. Darrell lies on his mother's coffin and cries. I do remember that happening, I'm not gonna lie. The next day, the Bunges arrive in Jefferson and bury Addie. Rather than face a lawsuit for Darrell's criminal bar burning, the Bunges claim that Darrell's insane. Oh, okay, I did understand. They were trying to make him seem insane. And give him to a pair of men who commit him to Jackson Mental Institution. Yo, this man really said, my family? False teeth?
Yeah.
Heck yeah. Dewey Dell tries again to buy an abortion drug at the local pharmacy, where a boy working behind the counter claims to be a doctor and tricks her into exchanging sexual services for what she soon realizes is not an actual abortion drug. The following morning, the children are greeted by their father, who sports a new set of false teeth, and with a mixture of shame and pride, introduces them to his new bride, a local woman he meets while borrowing shovels with which to bury Addie. So,
oh my god.
Wow.
Isn't that a lot to take in at once?
I think everyone's jumping at the seams to read this book.
Yeah.
Like, actually, granted, I'm not
That's
gonna
it?
lie. Yeah.
I'm sorry. That's the end?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's literally how it ended. Like, I'm not gonna lie though, reading that, I read a book like that. Would I read this book again? No. Too much old Mississippi Depression era language. That's what I'm gonna say. But yeah.
Impossible to understand. You had so many questions. Did Darl go to jail? Didn't know.
Yes. He went to mental institution.
Yeah, I didn't know.
Oh, sorry.
How old is Vardon? Didn't know.
Vardaman.
Whatever. They made Addie seem like the bad guy. Was she?
She was.
No,
I heard in the reviews.
she was the bad guy?
She was evil. It's like, the thing about the teacher that you said earlier, apparently, like, when she was a teacher, she, like, hoped kids would, like, act out so that she could punish them. Like, she was just, like, an evil human, apparently.
Oh, that was probably all in her chapter. Yeah, and I think no, but I agree. I think it was also, like, she didn't like her kids, but she kept having them.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like...
I got that.
Yeah.
But I mean, clearly the solution to abortion is marriage, so I mean, like, I don't know how that works. Yeah, I could see that. I could see that she's being the bad guy, but, like, I feel like in the end, he was the bad guy all along.
I think everyone sucked, to be honest.
I don't know.
Maybe the horse.
The mules didn't deserve it.
Yeah,
That's
the
a
mules
fact.
didn't deserve it.
Vardon?
I don't know, he just gave me weird vibes. Like, yeah, he's a child, but
He
it's
just
just
kept
too
saying
weird.
his mom was a fish. But yeah, honestly, not gonna lie, if this was rewritten in a slightly different way, maybe I would read it, but no, not in this old English. None of this garbage struck a chord with me. So, yeah, this might be the lowest rating book yet. Probably will be the lowest rating book ever in the BRBBC.
But in life.
No, there's gotta be worse.
Oh, name me one. I've read a lot. This is bottom of the barrel.
What about this?
Bet.
But 800 pages.
Ah, you got me there.
That might be worse.
Yeah,
I
that
don't
would
know
be
what
worse
that
for
is.
sure.
But I'm sure.
There definitely is something like that out there. Let me tell you.
Moby
A
Dick?
math textbook?
Oh.
I'd rather, at least I'll understand one thing.
At least you learn something. You know?
This got me nowhere.
But, yeah, so, yeah, take it as you will. That was As I Lay Dying. Again, if anyone wants this book, please leave a comment down below. I will ship it to you free of charge. I will pay for shipping and handling as well. Yeah, either that or I'll use it as a candle one day or something.
Just a fun kindling.
Yeah, some kindling, you know. You have a fireplace,
Yeah.
so do you have a fireplace? Perfect. 50-50. So don't forget to leave a comment down below what you thought of this book. Am I wrong? If you're the lady from Indigo, could you please explain your thoughts as to why you recommended that book instead of tried to stop me? Or ask, am I a fan of the classics before you recommend it? Because listen, if I was a big old book nerd, maybe it would have made sense.
Even so, I consider myself a book nerd and I've read a lot of classics. That was awful. How was that one of the best classics?
You didn't cry?
I Lay Dying?
Yeah.
I cried because I was frustrated and wanted it to be over. I didn't understand what's going on.
Fair enough. I'll allow it. But yeah, what's next month?
Well, guys,
What's next month's book?
next month's book, which you'll be seeing in a couple weeks, so you better read fast. Okay? It is, I guess some would say another type of classic, but I can guarantee you it is a much better classic than As I Lay Dying. It is The Great Gatsby by F. Scott Fitzgerald. Guys, this book, I love it. I have read this one before. We've actually all technically supposed to read it. Some of us cheated in high school and read this first.
Cheated? I read enough. No, I didn't. Hey, those are big claims. Hey, we see this right now. She's trying to tarnish my good name. No. I only read far enough as I needed to in order to write a killer essay. And that's what I did.
Yeah. Okay, sure. Anyways, no, I'm kidding. But yeah, we all read it technically in high school to some extent. And in high school, I didn't mind it. I thought it was one of the better books that we were, because every year they pick what we read. So I thought it was one of the better ones that we were forced to read. And I did like it, but didn't think much of it. You know, I was just like, it was fine. It was the best of the high school books. Last year, during peak COVID times, I decided to pick it up. And actually, no, before that, my brother took a course in high school and he had to read it again. And I didn't read it. I spark noted it again to help him write his essay. And I was like, oh, it's cool. I should revisit it sometime. Didn't think about it. Then COVID came last year when I had COVID and I was quarantined for a week. I was like, you know what? Let me reread The Great Gatsby. And I reread it properly for the first time without having, like, writing an essay in mind. You know what I mean? For fun, for leisure. and holy smokes, it was great. So I was like, I am picking it for next month's book and making you guys reread it properly without spark notes.
I didn't spark notes it. I don't remember what this book's about.
Exactly, so you get to find out. But yeah, I guess I will read. It's a pretty popular book. I'm sure many of you have read it or seen the movie, but I will read the back for you. In West Egg, Long Island, a mysterious millionaire named Jay Gatsby lives in a palatial mansion and throws parties that are the talk of New York. Yet very few guests know their host or where he came from. More intriguing for his young neighbor, Nick, is that every night he spies Gatsby gazing at a green light across the bay in the East Egg. As the languid summer stretches and Nick is drawn further into his neighbor's world, he learns not only that the green light is the home of his cousin Daisy and her husband Tom, but Daisy is the beacon that drew Gatsby here in the first place. Scott Fitzgerald's masterpiece novel continues to define the jazz age for generations of readers and deftly portrays the world of the very wealthy, their illusions, infidelities, and deceits, in a heartbreaking story of impossible love, ambition, and tragedy. Ooh, crazy. Fun.
Yep.
Yeah, guys, make sure you read that quickly, because BRBBC will be up probably in a week and a half from today's time. So get excited.
Exactly. Don't forget to subscribe to all our socials. We have Instagram, 2girlsbeingros_, and then TikTok, Twitter, and our YouTube channel, all 2girlsbeingbros. Leave a comment down below again what you want to see. We have a couple picks left, so maybe you'll be able to influence it, maybe not. Who knows? It's always worth a shot. Give us a big thumbs up. Send us some love. And with that, babes out.